Okay friends, hello. So I am back with another project. I'm going to be doing a project using this picture of my fur babies, Dennis. This is Dennis and Barley, and using the Acorn Lane collection. More specifically, I'm going to try to use, or I'm going to use the memory keeping classified kit. So some of the things that came in the memory keeping classified kit were some, you can see here this really cute little gnome button, some wood veneer here, there's like a little fox, beautiful day, there's a few other ones here, these beautiful gold stickers, these letter stickers, speech bubbles, different products, also the 12 by 12 planner, or not 12 by 12, but the fold larger size planner paper came with the kit. So at the outset, I'm going to apologize for the lighting. It's nasty outside here today. It's November 1st. I'm in Danbury, Connecticut, and it's really, really crappy out here. So, oh, one more thing that came in the memory keeping classified, some different die cuts. So I apologize for the lighting. I'm going to do my best to get through with this video with the lighting as it is. I have my umbrella lights set up, so enough talking. Alright, so my challenge is to use the memory keeping classified kits. I decided not to do paint splatter on this one, but I usually start with a sketch and I will take a picture and post this sketch. But what my plan is to take the planner paper, so the paper that came in the memory keeping classified kit, and turn it into a 12 by 12 page. So I'm going to use this wood grain paper and use this blue paper and make it sort of like a 12 by 12 page, and then on the back use the wood grain paper, use this to kind of break it up. I'm also going to be using some of the other kits from Acorn Lane, so I'll probably be using bits and pieces of the Traveler's Notebook memory keeping kit, the pocket memory keeping pocket kit, the memory keeping sticker kit, as I go along. So, alright, so let me stop talking, let me do this. I just remembered one more thing that came in the kit that I want to pull out just to highlight that came in the memory keeping classified kit. So if you're looking at this and you're wondering like, whoa, what's going on here? So usually when I get my Cocoa Daisy box of goodies, I usually put all the kits together in one box. So this is another thing that came, these sticker sheets that came in the memory keeping classified kit. So I really love this kit this month with the fun little gnomes and woodland creatures by Linus Spots. So, alright, without much ado, let me get started. What I'm going to be doing here is I am going to be cutting down the paper to make a 12 by 12. Alright, so this is 8.5 inches, so I want to make this 3.5 inches, because that will make it the right size, but I'm actually going to make it 4 inches, so I have a little bit of overlap here. So that's that, and then I gotta cut this down to 12 inches. Alright, so we don't need that. Which one was my 4-incher? Okay. Alright, and let me just show you. So I have some of the extra papers because of the planner kit. It comes with the main planner kit, but look at the background of this paper. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to use this. I might use this in my 6x8 notebook, or my 6x8 storybook, where I just maybe do a story in the middle, and then so then it could open up and I have this beautiful background there. But anyway. Alright, so what I'm doing now is, because I made it a little bit over a 1/2 inch, what I'm going to do is I'm turning this over. So I want this to be the top here. So I want this part here to be the bottom. So there's different ways of doing this, but I'm basically going to mark on here a 1/2 inch so I can glue it down. So I cut it a little bit bigger. I cut it a little bit bigger so then this way I have a spot to hold my glue. Just really kind of, alright. So I know that this page has to line up here. I'm going to use my rolling adhesive. Alright, so my rolling adhesive is pretty much a 1/2 inch size. That's good to know. And then this is just going to get lined up. Alright, there we go. Now if I did this correctly, this should measure 12 inches. So let's see, did I do it correctly? I did. Beautiful. Alright, next part is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a strip of paper here in order to break up the in order to break this up here. So I don't know if I want to use that paper or maybe I want to use a different one from the kit. Let's see what came in the kit. Alright, this is definitely not, well, I guess it could kind of be a fall layout. Alright, so I'm going to have them placed a little bit here. Maybe I should have them placed over. I kind of like that actually. Kind of like the fallness of it. Alright, so I think we're going to do that. Alright, so that works out. That looks good. So there I have my 12 by 12 piece of paper. And I'm going to stop this video because what I'm going to do now is I am going to get out my sewing machine and I'm going to sew a border around this just to kind of pull it in to each other. So the kids are going to go here. And then I'm probably going to back this with some more paper over here, and then I'm going to decorate it with some die cuts. But I want to put, I'm going to have a speech bubble each here. But I want to pull this together by doing some stitching around the edge here. So, okay. So yeah, I'm going to stop the video and stitch an edge, and then I'll be back to show you how this layout finishes. Okay friends, so I have stitched my border, if you can see it there, and what I do, I'm trimming off, now what I'm doing is I'm trimming off the little extra string, and I usually will tack down the back because I don't do a binding stitch or a knot on it. I'll tack down the back with washi tape. So that's what I'm doing now. You know what, and I'm going to put a piece of washi tape here The reason why I'm putting some washi tape along the border here is so when I stick it in my album, it doesn't catch. So it's one uniform piece. Alright, so as I was sewing, I decided that I wanted to do something to break up this background. Initially what I was going to do was put different embellishments, but I think that's going to get too busy. So what I'm actually going to do instead is I'm going to come down using the embellishments. I'm going to make kind of like an embellishment border down the side of this. And I'm going to pop up my photo with pop dots. So I'm going to put this here. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So I'm going to use mostly the stuff from the kit, but I'm also going to be using the stamps that were in the kit. The stamps that were in the kit. So the collection this month came with a an ink pad, a brown ink pad. So I'm kind of pretty much scrapping this sketch, and sometimes, you know what, sometimes you do that. Sometimes you need to scrap your sketch. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make an embellishment sort of block on the page. And there's one thing I found in here that I wanted to use. And I kind of put them off to the side. Alright, so remember I'm mainly using the memory keeping classified kit, but I'm also going to be using some of the chipboard. So mainly the memory keeping classified kit had these little fun little wooden embellishments here, these little wooden veneers, these stickers. Alright, so let me show you what I'm going to do instead. So I'm going to be making a embellishment sort of border down the page. This is going to get popped up on pop dots from my stash. So these are pop dots. So essentially this is going to get popped up and the border is going to come down here. Then my plan is to put two little speech bubbles on here. So I think I might do that now before I do it, so they can kind of be like they're talking to each other. Yeah. So that, I think that's how it's going to come together. And then, oh, this is moving further down here. And then down here, I'm just going to write out Dennis and Barley. Yeah. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to work. You'll see how this comes together. Alright, one more thing before I get going here fully. I'm using the Le Pen that came in the Flannel and Frost kit. It's a great fun little pen. Alright, so with a pencil I kind of marked here where the picture is going to go. So what I'm going to do here is I have, these are not from Cocoa Daisy. These are papers from my stash. And what I'm using them for is I'm really just going to be marking sort of like a border down the page here. So these are just scrap papers that I got a long time ago that I don't use anymore. The patterns are okay, but you know, they're not Cocoa Daisy papers, so And what I'm going to do now is I am setting them down here, so I'm making a border here so I can come in and out of the border. So I want to make the border big enough to be able to fit some of these some of these stamps in there. So I think, alright, so I've got the paper here, and I'm going to use some washi tape just to kind of secure it down onto my desk. So then this way alright, so now my picture is going here. See, my picture's going there. So I want the border to go a little bit over the picture. Yeah, that's good. And again, I don't remember if I said this in the previous video, but it's raining and it's nasty here in Connecticut where I am. And I set up my umbrella lights, so hopefully the video quality is okay. Alright, so now I've got one more spare piece of paper here. You'll see, because I'm gonna need it to kind of get underneath here so I can do some stamping. Alright, so now I have my border set up, and I'm going to go through. I'm using mostly the memory keeping classified kit, but I'm also going to be using the stamps that came with the collection this month. Again, this is the Acorn Lane collection from Cocoa Daisy. So, and I'm going to also be using some of the chipboard. Now there is, I can show you, there is other flat stickers that came within the kit, and there's rub-ons that came, but I'm gonna not use those right now. So here's some of the flat stickers. So like within the collection, there's some of the memory keeping kit, the planner classified kit. I might use some of these word phrases here. I'm not sure, but I basically I kind of want to limit it to not too much more than the memory keeping classified kit, because I don't want it to be way too busy. So alright, so my plan is to do kind of like an embellishment border. So I've got some die cuts, and the die cuts are also part of I also mixed some of the die cuts with the whole collection. So alright, let's get going. Alright, before I get going, let me tell you, so what I'm doing is I'm going to be interspersing stamps with die cuts and chipboard and wood veneer, all to come and kind of create like a border down the page here. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, let's get moving. Alright friends, I just want to pop in here. If you bought the collection this month, this ink pad is really great, but it is a little bit watery, so a little bit goes a long way. So I'm expecting that this is going to be a little bit dark there, yeah. Yeah, so a little bit goes a long way, alright? So remember that. Alright. Okay friends, so I realized as I started making this that I can't adhere these down yet until after I put all the stamps in, because as you see, I had to move this button a little bit so I can put the stamp block down on it. So I just wanted to come in and let you know that. Alexa, play. Okay friends, so what I'm doing now is, because this is shifting a little bit and I want it to be somewhat of an even, well, not somewhat, I want it to be even, I am now, since I have the top part done, I am now taping it down so it's not going to move as much anymore. Okay, so I have a few more things to stick down here. And then I'm going to pull it up and I'll show you how I'm going to finish it. So this one, these actually have stickies on the back of them, but I usually put some extra tape on them, because when I put it in my album, sometimes I push it in and they fall off, and I think I ran out of tape. Alright, so I have a few things to stick down here, and then I'm going to pull this off and you'll see how it came out. Ah, that came out cool. Alright, that's pretty neat. So I'm going to fill in a few gaps here. I think I'm out of tape. Yeah. Alright, I gotta pause the video because I'm out of tape and I gotta get a refill. Okay. Alright, so I gotta refill. Let's get going here. Alright, so now I am going to take some of the gold stickers and some of the wood veneer and fill in some of the spots that I missed. Here. I really love how this came out. I am actually not positive if I'm going to use the stickers. Alright friends, what I'm doing now is I like to clean up my desk a little bit as I go along, because if I don't, then it gets just like way too busy and messy, and I have too much going on and it just bothers me. So, alright, so I like to clean up my desk as I go along, which is what I'm doing now. Just putting some stuff away. Okay, so my original sketch is not, I didn't adhere to it. I'll still post it so you guys can see my thought process here, but I did completely change my mind. So, alright, so what I'm doing now is I have pop dots for my stash. I have had these for a long time. I use pop dots regularly if they add dimension to your page. So what I'm doing now is I'm just putting them on, and I did use a little bit more than I probably need, but that's okay. So I am putting them on to pop up the picture, and then I'm just going to finish it with my signature. Alright, so I have my guide here for the most part. I did cover it a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to put that down there. And do you see why it's important to have the paper there? Because you want to make sure it's an even line for the most part, and you also want to make sure that you know where your picture is going to be, so you can figure out what embellishments are going down. Alright, so that's that. One more thing I'm gonna do here. Packed up. Alright, so one of the things is I'm debating putting some words here. So I pulled out the word art from the memory keeping sticker kit. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do time with you. So I'm looking for colors that are not, so I'm specifically not using these 3 lines that it's going to clash kind of with the blue here. Alright. And then I'm going to put a label here. I think I'm going to use this one. Okay, I don't know why I put down right and left on there, but whatever. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish this up with a few of these enamel dots. I love the enamel dots. Just scattered around the page. I tend to really like to use the smaller ones. The smaller ones are just kind of my jam. Alright, so enamel dots for me are like the lazy woman's paint splatter. I didn't feel like doing paint splatter on this layout, so enamel dots kind of do that for me. And I think I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to find a place to throw my signature in, because remember, scrapbooking is an art form, so you always want to sign your work. So I think I usually try to put my signature somewhere where it needs a little extra thing there, so I'm going to put it right here. There you go. Alright. That's it, friends. Thanks for watching.